This is Ant-Man 20 bringing you another video about backpacks. I just thought I'd show you my collection. I have this smaller backpack. It's one of those ones that folds up into its own pouch. I just use it as a day pack, a little day pack when I need to carry a few things around. It's a great little bag. Next I have my Special Forces backpack in the Ozcam colours. I've made a video on this already. I don't use it so much these days since I bought my Spec Ops pack, and it's mostly used for holding my emergency items that go in for my bug out bag. So it's very useful for that. Stays at home mostly these days. And my Spec Ops bag, of which I've made a video on, and made a video of the modification of the computer pouch that I use inside. I've just recently come back from a week-long trip visiting a few friends and was able to put all my gear in the Spec Ops bag, including the computer, and works really well. I think the pack frame that I showed the video of there makes the pack hold up well and carry the gear. While I was away, I was able to go to a travel shop and look at a few backpacks. I had been thinking of something a little bit smaller than the Spec Ops bag. It's quite a big bag that I could just use for a general purpose carrying of many items. It's great to be able to go to a shop and compare bags side by side, even though on the internet and use of YouTube you can get to see features of bags. It's good to see them side by side. I ended up getting this 511 covrt bag, even though it was a bit more expensive than the other bags, because I particularly liked the way the pouch is stacked on the side here. So this one, and then this one here where the covrt section is, stacks on top, and the place at the back where your water bladder goes. So it's all stacked, so even though the bag itself is fairly compact and a similar size and dimensions to other bags, it holds quite a lot of gear because of the way the pouches are designed. And so just showing you some of the outsides of the bag. And there's a couple of videos on YouTube already sewing the pack, but I just thought I'd like to show mine. It was in the green colour. The green one was the only one left in the shop. The sales assistant said that they sell quite well and we're just waiting on some new stock to come in. So here's the back section. There's the padding here, and the centre section with no padding, so it allows some air to come in, which seems to work quite well. I can feel the pack carrying. If I can feel it on my back. Down here is this soft rubber section they say is to help not slip on your back. Has a place for a waist belt to go. These are only 1.5 inch clips, where on my Spec Ops bag they're 2 inch. And here's the belt off my Special Forces bag, which is 2 inch. So it doesn't actually fit inside. A little bit disappointing that 511 don't include a waist belt, and allow the customer to decide if they're going to use it or not. The straps come up here with the padding. I like the way they include this little loop here to hold the spare strap. It just slides up and down. Comes to a fairly standard buckle. Then this section here with the Velcro, it comes undone and allows you to slide in some other pouches if you needed to. Has the sternum strap, which is a neat little feature that this actually comes off, easily clips off just like that, and can put it in whichever place as you need. Similarly on the other side. There's the handle mounted into the section of straps here. This handle seems like it's well stitched and firmly on there. At first I thought that this section goes right across with this foam pad wrapped around, but I'm not so sure how they've constructed it, but it seems to be good and firm, and I can pick the bag up with some weight in it and works well. This section here just fits at the base of my neck and doesn't interfere and rub on my neck. Even if I have the bag on on my front. If you're on a crowded bus, hold on my front. This section here just rests at the base of my neck. It doesn't interfere. Have the hole here for where the drinking tube comes out if you have the water bladder inside. Interesting to note that the zip here is what they call, the outside in, inside out. And for some reason they just have a knotted loop here on each side, which is the same for the conceal carry. Interesting to note, even though it's a double zippered, the zips, when the compartment is closed, the zips are actually opposite each other, rather than like we see on the main compartment. When the zips are closed, when the zips close, the bag closed, they're actually together. And in this case, the teeth are showing and not reversed like it is on the water bladder side. So it just opens like this, all the way around, and there's a look inside. Just open inside. There's a plastic section in here which you could remove if you wanted to. I thought about removing it just to look, but then I thought it might be a little bit difficult to get back in, so I've left it there. There's a little tab here to hold your water bladder. Like a lot of these styles of bags, they have a place for a water bottle each side, like that. And coming to the top of the bag, we have this felt line section. It's quite big, and for holding, they say hold your sunglasses or something like that. This section does go down inside the main pouch. So if you did have a lot of stuff in here, you probably wouldn't be able to use this very well if it had something in it. So inside the pack, I noted an interesting feature here when I was closely examining the bag after I got it home. See this extra piece of thread here at both ends, and across here on the other side as well. This is where the shoulder strap comes in and joins, and they've had this extra stitching put in here. At the bottom of the bag, just note inside here, have extra stitching where the bottom strap comes through. This bottom strap comes through on the inside, extra stitching here, and extra stitching here where the compression strap comes in, extra stitched, and it's got some extra material here where it's stitched onto the side of the bag as well, on both sides. So I like the attention to detail. Also has some extra reinforced stitching on the side here where the computer pouch mounts in. So if they have paid attention to detail as much as I have with this extra stitching, I would assume that this is quite a well-made bag and probably worth the extra money compared to similar bags. The computer goes in here. It easily fits my 13-inch laptop. Probably a 15-inch would just squeeze in as well. Like some reviewers have said, this could quite possibly have a little piece of elastic in here to help pull it tight, but seems to work okay. The bag has two mesh pouches on here, one at the top, one in the center, and just a blank section at the bottom when you put your stuff in there. I like the way the zips easily slide. All the zips on this bag work really well. Just a little knotted section on these ones rather than plastic tags. Here on the outside, have a small pouch with this, a little bit of organising section here to hold pens and notebook and a couple of things. Has this flap as a feature used by the covert people in the law enforcement covert. It's removable. Like so, and you can put it on this section here with the Velcro inside, or they say to put it on your jacket, something like that. These zips here, when they're closed, are paired together and the zips reversed, and not like showing the teeth on this one. Coming down to here, this zip has this extra cover over it, but the zip is reversed. So different again, the way this one has the cover but the zips are exposed. So here's the something in there. Interesting feature that they have a little piece of Velcro at the top for Velcroing, say this name patch that I removed from the other pocket can go here if you like, name badge or something. There's actually molly looped in as well, so you can molly something in here, some pouches. These two clips at the bottom allow you to roll up this back flap, and they come down onto here to hold this back flap closed, so you have this with some molly pouches or something in the top here if you're using it in the covert manner. On the outside of this flap there's some loops here, which I assume you could put in some shock cord or something, going across, looping across, zigzagging across, and then it'll allow you to slide in something underneath. There's two pockets here, slip pockets that work sideways. This one here's a shallower one, and the one on this side actually goes right across to the other side. So they're two separate pockets, and of course you wouldn't really be able to put anything in here if you wanted to fold the flap down. So, but for my purposes I don't use any covert section, so just handy having these two pockets here for putting some paperwork in, like the bus tickets or something like that. Just moving through to the bottom of the bag, see here it's just got the drain holes with no tabs here, so you can't tie anything on the bottom of the bag, not like you can with the Spec Ops bag. Some people have commented about these drain holes, they're fairly big, and some people don't like them, they tape them over, and so far it's okay, I haven't worried about it. Some people have commented that there's only a single layer on the bottom here, and it would be good if it was double layered cloth or reinforcing, which is a good point, but for me at the moment it doesn't matter so much. Now just moving on to the covert part. Here it's a knotted one rather than the one with the plastic tag on, so I suppose they've done it just so you can quickly feel a knot, though it does look, I think, don't know why they could have put a plastic one on here to make it look right, but here's what they refer to as their covert section inside. We see some Velcroed panel, which only goes part of the way. Some reviewers have suggested that should go all the way down here to allow you a better positioning of your CCW weapon. But for me it worked out really well. I can put in two novels in here, a book in here easily for when I'm reading and waiting for the bus or the train, something like that. As you'd probably realise, this goes all the way through. Goes all the way through. And this top pocket here, can't really see, a bit dark in there. Doesn't take away much space from the inside of the bag, so you get this full section here, which is really handy. That's the overview of the covert 18 bag, the green colour. And as I mentioned, why I got this bag, I like the way the pockets actually stack on top of each other, and I was quite impressed that they have the extra reinforcing on the stitching here. Santman29 Able, thanks for watching. Leave some comments below if you like.